Well, good evening. It's Tuesday, the 25th of February, Journal 289, T plus 329. A little bit more than a month away from my transplant birthday, which is a pretty special thing, something that's interesting, considering the topic of tonight's conversation. I was talking to my sister-in-law, and we were talking about Kobe Bryant. We were talking about the tribute at Staples Center yesterday. And during the conversation, she insisted that I write down, that I share, that I blog about my thoughts and comments on Kobe. Particularly, but I think that the gift that Kobe left us was the lessons that he left behind, all about the way he lived his life, all about motivation, inspiration, and aspiration, and what the differences are. And it's interesting because I'm not a sports guy. My son. Our son, God bless him, he can quote averages. He's extremely well versed, sportsaholic. I never had the opportunity to pursue those things. I shouldn't say that. I made other choices. I was busy working and writing and presenting all around the country and try to purge myself of all the distractions I could. Now, that's not to say that I don't enjoy going to a game. I love going to live sporting events. I love the electricity in the air. I love the energy. But I'm not the guy who's going to be able to quote you earned run averages or completion percentages in the NFL or shots on goal in the National Hockey League. I can't do that. But I think I relate to Kobe Bryant on another level. Maybe that sounds presumptuous, because I certainly did not achieve the greatness that he did. But I understand his work ethic. I understand the grind. I understand the grit that it takes to get that done. I understand not being satisfied with less than the best you're capable of. And I think what made Kobe so special is that he had no idea what his limits were, and consequently he kept striving for that transcendent level of performance that he rightfully achieved. I mean, he was at the gym before anybody else was. He was there long after anybody else left. He was taking hundreds of shots and worked at being the best he could possibly be. And one of the things that was so special about him, and that we're all learning now, is that he carried that work ethic into every other aspect of his life. He spoke 7 languages, taught himself how to play the piano, and God only knows how many other musical instruments. What a lot of people don't know is that he was the single biggest contributor to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and that if somebody needed a wish granted, he was the go-to guy. You look at those 3 words, aspirational, inspirational, and motivational, and they're similar. They're all so similar that you got to wonder what makes them different. And I think it's important that we understand the difference. We aspire to things. We aspire to accomplish goals, objectives, certain things like that. It doesn't mean we're going to do it. We aspire to it. We would like it for ourselves. We would like to see it happen. In order to make it happen, we've got to be motivated and we've got to be inspired, it seems. Having the aspiration to do something isn't often enough. So it takes a little bit of inspiration. And I think Kobe served as that inspiration for a generation of folks all across the globe. It comes with a price. That singularity of purpose, as I wrote in the blog, can be abrasive. That singularity of purpose at the exclusion of all else can damage relationships. Only in Kobe's case, it doesn't seem like that was the case. But I do understand wanting more, and I do understand trying harder, and I do understand grinding it out. I had a college professor once that told me that the briefcase boys, and what he meant by that were the guys that had to work at it, not the folks that were truly gifted, are the people that run the world, because they're the people that get things done. That's not to say that Kobe didn't have exceptional, physical ability, but he took that physical ability and he built on it. It becomes inspirational when we see someone like that. It becomes motivational when we choose to use that inspiration to do things. So one of my favorite comedians, George Carlin, had a great quote about motivation. He said, if you find yourself in a bookstore looking at books on motivation, you really should leave, because if you're motivated enough to go to the bookstore, you don't need a book on motivation. You just need to do whatever it is that you chose to do. So I think the lessons that we can garner from the life of excellence, the spirit, the ability, the willingness to do the work that Kobe left us, is to emulate that whenever we can, with whatever it is we're doing, to ensure that we are the best that we can be, and are unwilling to accept anything less than that. Sometimes striving to be the best you can be is frustrating. It's difficult, especially in a world where so many people are striving to be average. But I think it's necessary. I think it's part of the reason we're here, and part of the responsibility that we have. So, and it's not the conversation I had with my sister-in-law, but it's certainly close enough. So thank you for indulging me. That's it for now. Until the next time we're together, stay well and take care. Bye-bye.